two of you have been chosen as my champions. Because both of you have that fight inside you. Now it is time to let it all out. Harness your pain. Focus that rage. And target your enemy. And then, and only then,
시작! 하이!
unleash hell.
All right, erect those fists, Mike. It's time.
Fist erect.
Salute. Salute the mighty Super Earth. Wow. Are we getting good at this?
That's a question for the listeners.
Oh, man, don't put it on them. We got to do it ourselves. But that
We've
was
gotten better
yeah.
since we started.
I got to give credit to the I was watching Cobra Kai because the episodes came back, and that was John Kreese, psyching up his players or whatever, his psyching up his team, his team members, his karate
His
students, his students, and I'm like, well, he said hell. I got to put that in the podcast.
I dig it, dude. That was cool.
Dude, I love that show, man.
I haven't caught up with the most recent season. I don't even know if I saw season 3 yet.
Yeah, I think they're wrapping it up. I think they're on 6 or something or 5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so it might be the end. So
it's the end of the world as we know it.
Super Earth. Is it the end of Super Earth?
I don't think it's the end of Super Earth. We might be nearing the end of Super Earth podcast.
Oh, man. You've been threatening. There's been
I've
chatter.
Been threatening.
There's chatter.
There's been chatter, yeah. No, I mean, the community is amazing. We've talked about that multiple times in the past, how the community is what keeps us going.
Right.
No, it's just, it's been, we've had so much going on these past couple months, and part of me in the back of my mind always feels a little anxiety, a little guilty if we're not putting ourselves out there for the people who are listening. So it's just, I don't really know how to reconcile that in my brain.
Well, the public outcry, has been, deafening. And what you call it? Beardley hasn't made another song, so I feel like, we're still okay.
We're doing okay.
Yeah. Spending time away. I've been dealing with life as usual, life always tends to, rear its ugly head,
right.
The circle of life, if you will.
I haven't really told anybody anything about what you've been going through, but it was pretty serious. And I'm glad everything seems to be kind of leveling out.
Yeah. We turned the corner for a better, tomorrow, but there's still a lot of I need to focus on outside of Super Earth podcast. So it's nice that you took the reins, produced 2 awesome episodes with awesome info. If you haven't heard it, go back, listen to them. Mike does a great job, no matter what he thinks in his head. There's so much information, so much passion for the IP here. He loves it, and he wants to share his his thoughts with everybody, and he does a great job. And and he should get a round of applause.
Thank you.
Speech.
I was there for the first Galactic War. I am here for the second Galactic War. Hey, whoa.
That was an accident.
It was good. No, that was a good segue into, I don't know, whatever it is we're going to talk about next.
Well, should we interlude?
Let's interlude.
Let's do it.
Not that one, though.
Oh.
It's too quiet. I think I need to give you...
We're getting better.
I think there are different exports of those that are a little louder.
Oh, well, I can make it louder.
I need to send you. Oh my gosh.
You want to try it again?
Go for it. Beautiful. Beautiful.
That was a sweet interlude.
It was. It was an excellent interlude. Okay.
Ooh, that's a good band name.
Excellent interlude.
Wouldn't that be cool? We're excellent interlude. We're here to rock your ears off.
All right, check this out.
I'm
Have
checking
you
it.
heard anything about this?
No.
Rumor, Helldivers 2 getting special DualSense controller.
Okay.
So basically, it's just a controller with the Helldivers color scheme, it looks like.
Oh, so it's just a skin for your controller?
Yeah, more or less. It's kind of what it looks like. I don't think there's going to be any different like functionality, but the thing is they don't show it in this article. Like they talk about it,
Just to pique the interest.
Yeah, they don't actually show it, so that's kind of confusing. But yeah, limited edition Helldivers 2 PlayStation 5 DualSense controller could be on the way.
Okay. Is it going to give you extra like a button and it'll do a stratagem for you?
No.
Come on.
I know. But yeah, I don't know.
It'd be awesome if there was like Eagle airstrike button and it's just like automatic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be crazy. I know on some of these, what I don't want to call them modded controllers, but like, you know, those specialty controllers like we used to have, you can program macros and you might be able to do something like that on PC or maybe console. I'm not sure.
It sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, it is a lot of work. I'd rather just punch in the buttons.
Punch in the codes. I mean, they're sitting there right there. All the arrows there are sitting there waiting for you to like punch in. So it's like I don't have to memorize them still. Like
just do it.
Punch them in the codes.
But that brings me to another little something here. That Helldivers 2 drops to $30 for Black Friday. Yeah, this was on IGN.
Wait, what?
Yeah, by Christian Waite. Yeah, Helldivers 2 is only $30 for Black Friday. So if you're listening to this and you haven't played the game yet, you haven't bought the game, now's the perfect time.
If you own a PC or a PlayStation.
Correct. Yeah. If you own an Xbox,
buy a PC.
Too bad. So yeah, trade in your Xbox, get a PC. No, I'm just kidding. I do like my Xboxes, but I don't really play them very often. And speaking of Xbox, while we're on that, Xbox is having like its lowest. The Series S is at its lowest price, I think, ever so far for Black Friday.
Yeah, I got a thing where if you sign up for Verizon, you can get an Xbox, Series S or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, but it's not available in my town, or else I'd do it, just for a free Xbox. Yeah. So check your Verizon plans or whatever if you want to score a free Xbox.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, you won't be able to play Helldivers, but you'll be able to play whatever.
You could play Hell Jumpers, right?
Yeah, Hellscapers.
Whatever the Halo version is.
The equivalent Helldivers game.
Which I still haven't tried that game mode yet.
Oh, they made a game mode? Oh, I was just goofing around. All right.
No, I'm pretty sure that the Hell Jumpers came out. I haven't tried it though. So
that piqued my this faction. There's like this faction I heard about they're trying to, what are they called?
Chaos Divers?
Yes, this Chaos Divers. What's this all about?
The Chaos Divers goes back to, I think, around the Freedom's Flame War Bond and the review bombs and all that stuff. Like they started team killing or doing different things to kind of go against what we were being told to do. Yeah, in order to kind of protest, the state of the game. But the interesting thing, like we talked about in the last episode, is that Bielstedt did say that they are thinking of ways to incorporate the Chaos Divers into the game.
So this is something that's the community, the anti-community created, and it's taken root, and it's actually kind of works in the lore of the game, and they like to incorporate it into this. They like to legitimize it. Basically,
that's what it sounds like. I mean,
wow.
I personally, like, I would see stuff on Facebook or whatever, people talking about the Chaos Divers and like coming up with Chaos Diver missions and things like that. And personally, I was not hip to it. I was like, I was like, your idea is chaos, but you're trying to organize. It's like that's not chaos. Like
That's organization under
that's organization. Yeah,
under the chaos label. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, so I was kind of
not a very thought out thing.
Yeah. There's no consistent thought process there, but people are doing it. They want to incorporate it, which would be kind of interesting. I wonder how that would work. If the Chaos Divers get different objectives, are different armor. How do you incorporate them into the game?
Yeah, that'd be fun to pay, to kind of pay attention to and see how that kind of materializes. But are these Chaos Divers responsible for the space station not going to the right planets? You think?
No, I think more so than anything else, it's people just like there's a large swath of the player base that doesn't really get into the details of what's happening, which
that's me.
Yeah, in a lot of games, that's me as well. So I don't really blame them. I get it. Like if you are reading what's going on and you're paying attention to, the nitty gritty of what's happening, it would be frustrating to watch opportunities get squandered. But I think it's fair to say that most people, they just jump in and they do whatever, looks cool right away. And I've been guilty of that plenty of times myself.
Right. But I mean, is it going because people have this space station that they can operate and it's kind of like a strategic weapon? And with people not using it correctly, is it once again something that the devs brought in to kind of, make the game more interesting? Is it blowing up in their face because it's not being utilized as it should be? Or, like once again, humans got in and it's just like the thought is fun, but the fact that it's not going to the right spots and the right times is kind of,
I think that, I think initially people didn't really know what to expect, so they're just following the DSS around mostly, which people are starting to call the Blob. That's the last episode, the Blob's Gambit. It's kind of a tongue-in-cheek, reference to the Queen's Gambit. The Blob's Gambit, because there was that gambit between the two planets, and if we sent the DSS to one planet and fought on the other, we could have protected both. But everybody followed the DSS, and we lost the one planet that would have made everything easier going forward. So I think it's a learning experience for the community and for the devs. I wouldn't necessarily call it a failure. People were complaining that the DSS was bombing everybody.
right.
And, I didn't play with it. I didn't play with the orbital bombardment. I played with the Eagle airstrikes, and that was amazing. It made everything so much easier. Like we were doing level 10s, and the Eagle airstrikes were just coming in and anytime we were getting tough resistance. So it's an interesting thing. You know,
I thought it was awesome. To
Yeah.
borrow a term from the 80s, I thought it was rad.
Ooh,
You know,
rad.
seeing those airplanes coming through, because we got to play. We played with that on that planet where the DSS was above. Bombarding. I thought it was so cool. I thought it was like
I agree.
artillery was helping us out,
Yeah.
and blowing stuff up in the background and making me feel more immersed in the whole situation.
Totally.
And as far as like I'm in a battle, you know what I
Totally.
mean? It's just not just like me and you. Like I feel like I'm part of like an operation,
Totally.
So
Yeah.
and it didn't come anywhere near us, but like I don't know how, maybe
Well, the orbital bombardment, I think, is a lot more risky. I feel like maybe that's the kind of thing where we're supposed to maybe fight on another planet while that is happening, because a lot of people were complaining about getting killed by it.
Right.
But like the Eagle strafing runs or whatever they were doing, that, like you're saying, it was amazing.
Yeah,
right?
like I kind of compare it to like, say, if we were like regular real soldiers in real life, like A-10 like warthogs were coming through and like blowing up like bases or something, like ahead of us or around us.
Yeah, as we're charging toward them, right?
Yeah,
it totally felt like a battlefield. Yeah,
right.
100%.
It did,
Yeah.
And I was like totally on board. I'm like, this is amazing. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah,
like I'm in a battle, Mike. How about you? I'm getting formed. Yeah, so cool.
I couldn't agree more. I thought it was super immersive. They're figuring out these ways to get us support, air support while we're running around on the ground taking stuff out. It was so cool.
Yeah, that we're not calling in, that it's kind of like happening, right? Like, as it should.
Yeah.
Super cool. To me, it sounded like, it felt like it was helping us out. Like,
yeah. And this brings me to, I know we talk about them just about every episode, but I had a little back and forth with Arganth after he listened to our last episode, and I was talking about the DSS and people getting upset by being killed, and the devs kind of coming around, giving us the free bubble and, trying to mitigate the frustration. And he was saying that, people need to embrace the chaos.
Yeah.
And I agree.
Dude, that's the fun. Not knowing what's going on, not knowing how to react, not knowing, being confused. Like, that's battle. That's real.
Yeah. Yeah. Those like, holy crap, how am I going to survive? Am I going to survive? And he was saying like the game has lost its sense of hopelessness, which I also agree with. I think that so I was playing with my nephew this weekend and we were doing these, super Helldives, and I couldn't believe how not difficult it was. And, we started doing them with the airstrikes supporting us, which made it way easier. But there were so many things that like he's doing all these things that I'm like, wow, this kid catches on quick,
as the younger generation usually does,
as they usually do. Yeah. And I found myself being a total old man about all of it. I was like, back in my day, in the early days of the Second Galactic War, you couldn't use a grenade to take out a fabricator. You couldn't use a rocket launcher to take out a fabricator unless you were facing the vent. You know what I mean? I was totally in my old man. Like, I didn't really say much to him directly because I was just happy that he was loving the game that much.
Did he care to hear your stories, your old war stories?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't care. This is how it is now. I'm good at it now. That's what matters. and more power to him.
Yeah. And then he smacked you with his gun.
Yeah, he ran me over a couple times with his walker, but that was my fault. I got too close.
Dude, that was cool. Like, I got to be on the game with him as well, and he brought out the walker, the mech warrior. I'm like, yes, like somebody else. That thing's cool.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It annihilates, and it's just like such an awesome weapon to have on our side.
Totally.
And then he was using it. I'm like, yes, he knows what's up. Me and him are one on the battlefield.
Well, that he's not as big on the stalwart as you are, but
I was crushed. Then I heard about his lack of love for the Star Wars, and I was crushed.
my soul was lost. But yeah, so we had a lot of fun. It was a good time. But that's when I started thinking, like, you know, they really have made certain aspects of the game easier. And with the DSS helping, that makes it even easier at times, you know. And I think as much as it used to frustrate me, like back in the day, the most memorable moments in the game are when the game was kicking our butts. Right?
Oh, okay. Now you appreciate those butt whoopings, huh?
Well, like I said, you know, when it was happening, I wasn't too keen on it.
Now they're battle scars that have what do you call it? Calloused over. You know, they made you tough.
They made me tough. They made me appreciate.
Yeah,
the way that the game.
Now it's too easy, and like their weak sauce players have come out.
Yeah, well, I never really thought it was too hard. Like, we were always playing with good people who showed us how it, you know, showed us what it's like to play the game the right way. And when you play the game the right way, it's not that hard. You know, it's when you don't play the game the right way that you end up with all these bot drops and you have to run and hide and you don't stand a chance. But things like Malevelon Creek or the Meridia storyline, you know, those are things we remember because they were so hard and so chaotic.
Right.
But here's the thing, okay? This is my suspicion. I think that they're getting ready, right? Bielstedt said that they are planning 3 big updates.
Uh-oh.
And I feel like a new difficulty is coming in one of those updates because with the DSS supporting us,
okay,
it feels like our chances of victory are higher.
Okay.
And I feel like this game has a tendency to like introduce a problem and then introduce the solution, whether it's one side or the other, like whether it's the enemies are overpowered, you know, like that's one thing I think people have missed greatly about this game. Like there'll be a Malevelon Creek or a Meridia, and there'll be like these circumstances where we're just getting our butts kicked, but then they'll give us something new,
right,
to combat those circumstances and overcome. Yeah. And I feel like now they've turned the tide toward us winning, and the way to bring that back around would be to introduce a level 11 difficulty.
So we got a level 11 difficulty. That'd be one thing.
Yeah.
Which, you know, of course, you know, just keep going up with difficulties. Makes sense. Mm-hmm. Number 2 is what? The Illuminate?
Yeah. Yeah. Which in a recent update, they added the files for the Illuminate.
Okay.
In a recent update, as was data mined.
And we don't usually talk about leaks or whatnot, but this is a pretty big one. So I think break with tradition.
Yeah, I think pretty much everybody knows about it. So we're not talking about something that, you know, people don't know about. And yeah, I think it's interesting. They might be just trying to keep people kind of tantalized. You know, like they may not be on the cusp of releasing the Illuminate, but nothing has me believing that we're close more than them adding the files to the game.
And what if the Illuminate come out and they just totally wipe the floor with us? I mean, just we've got nothing that could kill them, and they, you know what I mean? Wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like if they, like you're saying, like we were just talking about.
Yeah.
If they start kicking our butts, they start pushing toward Super Earth, and, you know, they have to release a couple new stratagems or weapons or something like that, a new war bond with weapons to combat the Illuminate or something like that.
Dude, you know what would be cool if like one of the missions is we got to capture like one of the Illuminate's like main bosses, kind of like in Starship Troopers, how they had to catch the brain bug. You know what I mean? Before we knew
Mhm.
how to like, and then before we knew how to beat them, we had to like learn them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, what if
Yeah.
like the Illuminate's almost the same way? Like there's this big smart Illuminate, creature and certain planet, and we got to take that planet and then capture that guy, and then that takes a lot of time. Let's say it'll take months or whatever, kind of like the DSS. But the
Yeah.
whole time we're getting worked. You know what I mean? Even they're like little guys, even they're regular guys.
Mhm.
Would kick our butts. Like, that'd be cool.
That would be awesome.
Until we turn the tide, and find the weapons that can take them out easier.
Yeah. Yeah, I
But-
like that a lot. That would be cool. Like a couple weeks of. The problem though is that
Yeah, because we got Christmas coming up in our country. So various countries. So that'd be a cool like time to unleash something like that. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
oh, dude, Christmas break.
Yeah,
What if that's when they do it?
that'd be sweet. That'd be perfect time.
But I like what you're saying. I like the idea of the thing is I think that would have to like rotate planets. Like one week it's this planet, then maybe we take that planet so they leave to another planet and we have to follow them to that
Ooh.
planet.
Yeah,
Take that planet to gather more information.
yeah, they know how to slow burn everything, dude. They'll be able to figure out a story for it.
And then yeah, and then like you're saying, like that gives us the information we need to develop weapons to counter.
Yeah,
these-
and it's gonna have to be some sort of energy weapon too. It can't be like bullets or bombs.
yeah.
It's gonna have to be some sort of like portal weapon that you put them in a portal and you send them to some other galaxy. I don't
to
know.
the Phantom Zone.
Yeah, something, or you blow up their molecular structure or something. Because I don't know. They seem to be a cut above type of enemy from the little tiny bit that I saw of them.
Mhm.
They seem to be a little bit advanced as far as what they're coming at us with. What's the third one you think?
The third what?
The third change, the third big,
The third big update?
yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Probably like a balance patch, I would think. Some new weapons, some ship upgrades, probably like a new tier of ship upgrades.
Any bit about maybe being able to group in or some sort of like some
Public
sort of like a
place.
public gathering place, or just being able to have groups, like bigger groups, what's the word I'm looking for?
Oh, yeah, more players per Helldive or per dive.
No, not that, but just factions or factions, like not factions, but how we could add like a little like we were NLP, remember, like in Call of Duty.
Oh, clans.
A
clan system?
Yeah, clan system.
That would be cool.
Be like a Super Earth clan, Super Earth podcast clan.
SCP.
SCP. So yeah, everyone listening, if we have a clan system, SCP, that would be the call sign. So
yeah, going back to what we were saying when we first started, like we're not going anywhere, even if we do take a break from doing the podcast. Like the community is going to stay. If they do incorporate a clan system, we'll start one.
Right.
And we'll see how everything goes. So that would be awesome. I'd like to see a, what's the word? Like a prestige system. I would love to see that. So you could start all over and get something,
something extra. Yeah. Something to, kind of motivate you to keep going up to those levels or restarting like we did. We found a lot of fun doing that. Tons of fun going back to the beginning and not having anything. Another thing is these the joystick awards.
The Golden Joystick Awards.
How'd that turn out for Helldivers too?
Dude, they cleaned up.
What?
They cleaned up. I don't have it in front of me right now, everything that they won. Do you?
I can find it.
Well, let's find it.
Let's pause.
Helldivers 2 Golden Joystick Awards.
See, here's the thing. It's like, we know this is a good game. I know it's a good game. Mike knows it's a good game. We knew it was a good game when it first came out. We didn't need the 14 million other people to be on board right away. Like, I knew there's something special about this game. Like, I haven't had fun at a game like this for so long, maybe since Halo days. All right, just say it. I know it's kind of a weak comparison because it's obvious, but like they took two things, and I probably said this in episode 1. Starship Troopers and Helldivers combined with a little bit of Star Wars mixed in. Like, I'm so on board, and then so like award season is starting, and how did they turn out?
Well, this is I found this on Games Radar by Ali Jones. There's a bunch of winners, obviously, but Helldivers 2 won Best Multiplayer Game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Deservedly so.
There's someone like, do they have the people the games that were up nominated or no?
No, this list doesn't have the nominations, but I'm sure there were plenty of other excellent games.
I'm sure it's like the ones that were like, I'm sure like Call of Duty, was on there, and like big.
Space Marine 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Diablo 4 might be a little too old to be on this list.
Yeah.
But, Baldur's Gate might be too old. I think that was last. Yeah, anyway.
Well, I think I got it. So like just I might be able to hold on. Okay, so best multiplayer game was Ibotic Factor. Have you heard that?
Well, best multiplayer game was Helldivers 2.
I know, but the other games, the ones that were nominated,
oh, okay.
the ones that
No, I've never heard of that.
Me neither. EA College Football 25. Have you heard of that? I've never heard of that one.
I've heard of it.
Sons of the Forest. Never heard of that.
Never heard of it.
Tekken 8. I've heard of Tekken.
Yeah, I've heard of Tekken.
And then the Finals, which I think is a newer game, came out about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've played the Finals. It's interesting. It's I don't know. It doesn't really have anything to kind of keep me playing. It's free to play.
Right.
It feels like Call of Duty, and I it's like but you like run around on these maps where there's all sorts of verticality, and there are all these bouncy things. It's pretty fun, but I'm just not.
Okay, so there's not like the huge heavy hitters that I thought in that category, but Helldivers is head and shoulders above the other games mentioned.
I would agree.
So that's a no-brainer. Kind of sorry, that's going to win that group. All right, so what's the other one it won?
Let's see. Going down the list, console game of the year.
Console game of the year.
Yeah, that's saying something.
Like the PC, like the PlayStation console game, right?
Or Xbox, yeah.
All right, so I got the nominees as Astrobot,
another PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah. Dragon's Dogma 2, which there's a guy here at work that said that was a pretty good game. Final Fantasy 8 Rebirth.
7 Rebirth?
Oh, sorry, 7. Yep, I thought there was an extra one, but it was my cursor.
It's all good.
Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. And lastly, The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. Like, wow, it beat a Zelda game.
I can't believe anything beat a Zelda game.
I know.
Like, Zelda usually cleans house.
Zelda's right. So that's saying something right there for the console game of the year. Because, well, I mean, and in theory, like think about it. I don't know. I haven't heard about these games breaking any records as far as Helldivers 2 did on a PlayStation. So that's kind of, pretty obvious choice there. Not to toot its horn, but to toot.
To toot its horn, yeah.
All right. What else did it win?
Critics' Choice Award.
Critics' Choice Award.
Award. How about Best Game Trailer? That's the other thing that won.
And it was, best game trailer. Okay, here it goes. So we got Caravan Sandwich. Never heard of that.
Mm-mm.
Death Stranding 2 on the Beach.
Oh, okay.
Death Stranding, sorry. Kingmakers. Sid Meier's Civilization 7. I got that number right.
Oh, wow.
And The Plucky Squire.
Yeah. Well, the only one I think that could compete would be Death Stranding.
Death Stranding?
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Yeah, I never really heard of those other games, so I can't really speak to most of it. I know Sid Meier's it's been around since I was born, so, or, maybe before, I don't even know. So that's a big one to kind of, topple, if you will, for the year. And
when is when is the sequel to Sid Meier's Pirates coming out? That's what I want to know.
I don't even understand the reference. Like, that seems to be like an old PC IBM Pentium 2 game.
It's pretty old. I think it's like PS2 or PS3. But
okay, gotcha.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So I was talking to my nephew about Helldivers, and he brought up something I never thought about. But like, what about Helldivers 2 having some sort of a DLC expansion pack, like that way? You know what I mean? Like a DLC, like not a war bond and not an update, but like an actual DLC scenario.
Did he give you ideas for what that would be? Because that's the interesting thing about this game is the way that it's structured. You don't really need DLC. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like other games where you only have this amount of content and then you have to buy more and play through more content.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like Destiny, So
it's not like Destiny, right? But like, I mean, could it be at some point? I mean, could it kind of like open up another? I don't know. Maybe instead of it being big, maybe go small and be, you're on Super Earth. It's a Super Earth expansion, and then in Super Earth, there's certain, cities that you can go to fight. You know what I mean? And it'd be more of a smaller. It'd be more, a shrinking of the game as opposed to expanding of the game. You know what I mean? Like actually deep diving into like a certain planet or whatever. Something like that. You think something like that could happen?
That would be interesting. I don't know. I don't know if I would want this game to start going the DLC route, because in a way the war bonds are a form of DLC already. Yeah. And they are, they're adding new planets and new enemies and different things like that without us paying for them.
Okay.
And a lot of times that's what DLC brings. They bring new mission types, new enemies, or reskins of old enemies. And, I feel like they're already giving us a lot of that stuff for free. So, hats off to them in that regard. So I wouldn't really want to see them start gating that stuff off and then selling it to us as a separate package.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because then as they're adding different mission types, as they're adding different enemies and whatnot, only the people who bought those DLC packs could play that content, and that would break up the player base. And I don't think that's what they want to do. I think they've got a really good strategy for how to keep a game going, keep adding things to the game without separating the player base. Yeah.
So don't do it.
Yeah, not like that,
Yeah.
I don't think. Unless like you're saying, it's like a specific planet and there are things about that planet that you're not going to get anywhere else, like underground missions or actual story driven missions where, there are characters talking to you, while you're doing it. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't think they need to overcomplicate the game.
And making it free, something like that, would just be kind of not necessary because it would just be an update, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, making us pay for something like that when they've been just updating the game with new weapons, new stratagems,
Well,
ship upgrades.
yeah, what I'm saying is like, if we were to get a DLC for Helldivers 2, there's no point in making it free because it wouldn't be a DLC, it would just be an update because like instead of making everybody pay for this a DLC,
Mm-hmm.
and then like you said, splitting up the player base.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they want to keep everybody together, the option is to just give everybody the DLC, right? But it'll just be in the form of an update. They won't call it a DLC.
Which is basically what they've been doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
that's what I'm agreeing with you.
you're agreeing with me. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I don't think they really, it'd be interesting to see if they put the vehicles in the war bonds,
Yeah.
or if we can just unlock them, because that could be something, if you wanted to call it a DLC, but then people will be upset that you have to buy the war bond, to get the latest stuff. So you can't win.
You can't
if
win.
you're a developer. Either you're giving people stuff for free that you've worked on forever, or you're trying to get them to pay for it separately, and they're complaining about it. So what are you going to?
What can you do? It's like, when you start picking, when you start nickel and diming, people get turned off. I know as a consumer of video games, that's what happens to me. So I can only assume the rest of the people are similar because you want to pay your full money. They say, hey, this game costs this much, like you said, $30 now on Black Friday, and then you want to feel like you're done, and then it's just like, oh, it's just like everything else. If you want a little extra, you got to pay a little extra, and it's just a little bit. Here it is, but then here's a little extra again. Here's a little extra again. Here's a little extra again. Here's a little extra, and so on and so on. And the next thing you know, it's like the most expensive game you've ever played in your life. So the most expensive game on record that I've ever played in my life was a free game on my cell phone. I must have dropped thousands of dollars.
Yikes!
Yeah,
yikes!
Just because I'm like, I wanted the updates, I wanted the upgrades right now. You know what I mean? So they got me. They got me good.
That's how they get you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, we're going to slow play all these advancements. All your XP is going to be super slow, but if you buy into it, and that's the thing. The problem with that strategy is that a lot of games, Helldivers excluded, right? So Helldivers doesn't do this, and I think that's one of the reasons it was so popular when it came out. A lot of games treat it like they're free to play. Like they include the free to play grind with games that you paid for, and that's like just exhausting. I'm so tired of games that are just all grind. And then, at least certain games like Destiny and other games like that have gone quote unquote free to play, so you can at least try them out for a little bit before you have to pay anything. But I've spent a ton of money on Destiny over the years.
Wow. Yeah. I've similarly done, the same scenario when, I really like a game and I'm like, oh, even if I won't play it, I want to get the DLC that's like gives me the extra, looks on my character or gun things or whatever, gun skins or whatnot, like just to have it. Or sometimes they've given out like whole missions and stuff. Like, I don't know, like I'm going to talk about like the Fallout series, that I've never even played, but I own the DLC and I haven't even touched it because you know what I mean? I love the game. Yeah. So it is what it is. Hey, real quick before I move on, going back to the joystick awards, right?
Yeah.
There is a category that Helldivers 2 did not win. If you want to discuss that, the ultimate game of the year. Now, is this the ultimate game of the year? Here's the nominees: Animal Well, Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Dragon Age Veilguard, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Helldivers 2, Metaphor Refantasio, Satisfactory, Silent Hill 2, and Tekken 8. Now, there's some big names on here.
Oh, yeah.
And so here are the heavy hitters. This is the heavy hitter category.
Mm-hmm.
And Helldivers 2 did not win. The winner is Black Myth Wukong, which I heard. I work on in a building that hosts a PBS idea stream, station,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and they play the radio when you're on their floor. They play what they're playing on the speakers, right, in the building. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, walking on their floor, and I hear them talking about a video game like PBS, like, public broadcasting, not supposed to be selling anything, talking about a video game and it being some kind of crazy game. And, because it's got to deal with, Chinese myth. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, that intrigued me. You know what I mean? Mm. I've never heard of PBS doing that. So, and here it is. They won the ultimate game of the year. So what do you think?
I don't know.
About that?
I don't know much about that game, honestly.
It's like a Souls game, basically.
Okay. Which, those games can be fun. I gotta be in the right mood for a game like that. I don't know much about it because I've just been playing Helldivers,
Right. Same.
The thing about Helldivers, yeah.
Oh, and Hell Let Loose, sorry.
Oh, and Hell Let Loose?
Yeah. No. I've been playing Helldivers and Hell Let Loose. Sorry. Keep going.
No, it's all good. It's like, so I was playing a little bit of Destiny yesterday, and the thing about Helldivers that I think a lot of people take for granted is how quickly you can get into the action. Mm-hmm. And how amazing the moment-to-moment action of this game really is. Like, I think after a while, you just kind of get used to it, and you start like not really feeling like just these amazing cinematic moments. You're walking through the storms, and you're dropping bombs on a factory strider, and you're seeing it like coming out of the explosions in the middle of a blizzard, and all these other things that no other game is doing right now. And I think for me, like I wanted to like Destiny. So Destiny has like all these new updates, and there's all this story content, which was pretty cool. I'm not going to lie, but ultimately I was like, I just want to get into shooting stuff. Like this is taking forever. And there's all these like to-do lists, and I'm just like, where's Helldivers? I just want to get into my pod, drop down with 3 other bros and or women. Interestingly enough, this is a tangent. Our female listeners is a growing group. So thank you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for your service.
Saw that. Yeah,
and,
thank
and
you
listening.
for your service. Yeah, just the ability to just jump onto your ship. If you press the buttons in the beginning, you go right to your ship. You go right into playing with people if that's what you want to do. There's no fluff. Like people don't realize how awesome that is. Like if you just want to jump in and do a mission real quick, you can. You don't have to go through a bunch of stuff before you can go to where you want to go, or track this mission, track that mission, track these 6 missions, and then there's like sub menus with other challenges and things like that. It's like it's just too much.
Yeah, no, it's definitely accessible to everybody at any time. Obviously, you need a PC and a console or PlayStation, but like you can go in no matter what age group, because it's pretty much ready to go. You do the little training maybe if you want, do you have to do the training, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got to do the training, but still, It's pretty simple. Whereas the learning curve for a Souls game is definitely gonna be a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So the level of accessibility for Helldivers 2 is it appealed to a mass audience.
Easy to learn, hard to
Easy.
master.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've said it before.
We'll say it again.
We'll say it again.
You want to touch on the major order?
Oh yeah, dude, the major order.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, go for it.
All right. Well, I will what is this? Lane Harris or Ian Harris? It's kind of a weird. I apologize. I can't really make out the first letter. It looks like an I. I-A-I-N. Ian Harris. New Helldivers 2 Major Order acknowledges the Democracy Space Station's ability to kill friend and foe, but while system recalibrations continue, asks you to test some machine guns.
Yes.
Yeah. So Helldivers 2 has a new major order that acknowledges the swanky, diver-killing Democracy Space Station's recent antics, but ultimately says, don't worry about that and go test out some machine guns for us while system recalibrations continue. To complete Helldivers 2 latest major order, take your pick of the M105 Stalwart,
right,
the MG43 machine gun, or the MG206 heavy machine gun and get to killing. The prize is that the first machine gun to reach its designated kill count will be considered most optimally configured for the bug front.
Oh, so they'll do an update for the gun?
I'm not sure exactly what that means. Looking at helldivers.io, it's a tad too early to tell what the favorite is.
Okay.
Though divers loyal to Super Earth are going about the task with democracy-charged enthusiasm. Quote, after several battles in multiple systems, the Democracy Space Station has now proven itself a tool for galactic liberation with undeniably non-zero utility. The major order reads, while system calibrations continue, the Helldivers can count on support from their new super weapon to take out everything in its path between now and full freedom.
Okay.
But standard weapons also require constant reevaluation, which is why the Ministry of Defense is asking Helldivers to conduct a machine gun weapons efficacy review.
Very good.
So
we'll link it in the show notes if people want to check it all out. But
yeah, I think what this could mean is that maybe the ones that don't win will get some kind of rework.
Yeah. Okay. So it's the opposite. Not it will get, because you said optimized. So I was like, oh, it's going to get increased. Okay. So I have real world stats right now. I looked it up on our Helldivers 2 Galaxy map. And it's got the major order. There's 4 days left, 22 hours and 43 minutes. The Stalwart, I believe, is the first one. It doesn't really say which one's which. Was the Stalwart the top one? And then the machine gun, and then the other heavy machine gun? Was that the order?
Yeah. Because
you sent me a text yesterday, and I'm like, yes, awesome, major order. And then I saw the Stalwart as the top one, but I could be wrong.
What does it say on there in terms of what's listed? Okay. Does it just have images, or the M105 Stalwart?
Yeah, okay. So that's at 11.61 million out of the 500 million. Wow. So it's at 2.32%. Then that's we've got much. Yeah, and then we got the machine gun, right? That's at 13.79 million out of the 500 million, and that's at 2.76%.
Okay.
That one's winning. And then we've got the obviously the heavy machine gun, which is not everyone's favorite, not my 6.2 million reporting 1.20%. So it's a heavy third. Stalwart is a close second, but the machine gun is leading the way, which I think because the machine gun has, I think, a little bit more a stopping power, so I think that tends to be the favorite as far as actually getting something down, especially the bugs, something heavy down, But the Stalwart will spray. Yeah, go ahead.
I like the heavy machine gun personally. I just realized that one of the ship upgrades is a reload improvement for all of the support weapons, and that's going to be my next upgrade. Like, so many times I'm like, man, if I could just reload this recoilless a little bit faster, you know?
Yeah.
But that's one of the things.
That's one
So
of the things. It makes the game challenging, you know?
yeah,
It's
but
the wait times.
there is a 10% increase in reload speed for one of the ship upgrades. So that's going to be my next one.
Nice. Do it.
Yeah. But you don't really need that if you're team reloading, which I think we were doing that recently, weren't we?
Yes, we were reloading each other's weapons.
Weapons.
Like I had the backpack for your autocannon, and you had the backpack for my quasar, right?
Well, the quasar doesn't need one, but yeah, I think we had something. Yeah, we were taking turns reloading each other.
The quasar was that
recoilless?
No, the one with the laser guided one that it was free, and I was like, "This is awesome!" I was blowing up
commando.
No. I was blowing up drop ships with it, and they were already flying away. I thought I had the quasar. I thought that was the quasar.
Yeah, but the quasar doesn't need reloading. That's the only thing.
It doesn't?
No, it recharges.
Oh.
So we must have been doing something else. The spear was free.
The spear. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had the wrong weapon. The spear. That's the one.
It's all good. It's all good.
Cool.
It was a few days ago.
It was a few days ago. A lot of brain cells have left me since then. So there you have it. That was a lot of fun.
That was, yeah.
The spear. I was having so much fun with the spear, dude. Like,
dude, the spear is great, especially if you have someone reloading you. It's amazing.
That was awesome.
So I do want to shout out McNasty for joining in with my nephew and me and helping us try to unlock Helldive for him.
Nice.
Appreciate that. Hope things are going well for you down there.
In McNasty World.
In McNasty World, yeah. So, yeah, it was a good time.
So, yeah, man, have we come to that part of the show where we give our thanks to everybody by shouting out some ship names?
Ship names. Yeah, I think we're running kind of low on the ship names again.
Yeah, you kind of know where we're at.
So, actually, no, we've got a pretty good amount, like a couple episodes worth, maybe, if we just do a few stories. Looks like there's 1 or 2 stories left in the Discord. Maybe, actually, it looks like some others were recently posted. So keep the stories coming. Keep the ship names coming. There was a comment on our last episode. Somebody just said, "I'm new to this podcast."
Okay.
So if you're new, that's the best time to jump into the Discord. Drop your ship name.
Yeah, this is how it works here. You got to let us know your ship name, sir, and we shout it out
in our best Jeff Steitzer voice.
Best Jeff Steitzer, and those are sanctioned by Jeff Steitzer as well. And then you got to stay. There's a story in your head, like if we didn't mention Helldivers stories, there's a game that you've played in your past that haunts you or that you cannot get out of your head. That ship name needs to be written down and either email to us at superearthpod@gmail.com or post it on our Discord and, for everyone to share in that experience. Mm-hmm. So those are the 2 standing orders for anyone involved with Super Earth Podcast, the Helldivers radio stream.
Yeah, because if you send it to us, we'll read it and then we'll read it on the show. But also, if you do post it in the Discord, other people get to see it and react to it. And so that's kind of fun.
That's a ton of fun.
So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Where do we start here, Mike?
Oh, boy. Let's see. I will let you know. Okay. So you see this lit E710 diver.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And yep.
He says mightily stinky in response to melatonin. Madman.
Yep.
Okay. So right under that we have Nisher.
Right.
You want to take it or should
Yeah,
I?
yeah. The SES custodian of family values.
Nice. Thank you for your service, Nisher.
Thank you, Nisher.
All right. Lit E710 Diver, the SCS Eye of the Constitution, making itself known after all this time. Salute. Salute.
I'm going to salute that right there on the Discord. So you can go to your Discord and see that Delito has saluted you.
Good stuff. Yeah, that's how I'm keeping track. All right.
We should do that. We should have like a you've been, on the podcast, like you have like one of these emojis that you've been, recognized,
something specific to being called out.
Sorry, my free floating ideas are getting in the way.
No, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea at all.
Cool.
Okay, I read the last one.
Okay, we got Cake. Uh-oh, this guy.
Yeah.
Me and this guy, we have history, don't we?
Yeah.
Cake, thank you very much for your contribution by calling me out and
leading to one of the most fun community experiences.
So if you see this Cake out there, he's going to be flying around in the SES Lord of Destruction. Oh,
right.
That says a lot. That says a lot about his personality.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you for your service, Cake.
Thanks, Cake. Yeah.
All right. Possibly last, but definitely not least, we have Snuff, the SES Harbinger of Destruction.
Destruction. That's the Megadeth song.
Yeah. Harbinger.
Yes. Thank you, Snuff.
Yeah.
And then, oh boy.
Last one.
Our last one. This one here, Gloompa 2. Is that right?
I think that's just like a separation between the name and the ship name.
Why would they do that to me? Why would they confuse me?
I don't know.
Don't they know I can't read? The SES Wings of Mercy. Also possibly an Overwatch reference.
Ooh, Wings of Mercy. Oh, Gloompa, I love you. Dude, I know we've probably mentioned it, but before my brain injury, I was so into Overwatch, and I was a Platinum Mercy.
Okay, that's the helper one.
Yeah, that's the blonde-haired white girl.
Right.
Who, at the time, she used to like revive everybody. And, you'd like hide around the corner and fly in real quick and heroes never die and raise everybody back up on the point. And, oh man, it's just too much for me now, even to this day. But I used to love playing Mercy.
There you go. You kind of made Mike reminisce about some better times where, games were just games and not conversations.
Back when I could do, back when I could play first person shooters. Yeah.
Dude, you were a master sniper, bro. I have to admit,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Call of Duty was, it was unfair. For a few years there, it was unfair to be on the other team. Oh, snap.
Uh-oh. Someone
know what this is?
Yeah. Someone's calling, someone's putting an end to all this fun in the sun.
All right. Hey, thanks for being here. Check us out next time.
Next time. Check it out.
All Super Earth podcast content is based on the game Helldivers 2, created by Earthlight Game Studios and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment.